Today we are going to be learning about different types of lines and making a line Zentangle art project. You are going to need 2 thin pieces of paper, your markers, and crayons for this project. Let's start by practicing drawing some lines. We are going to start with a straight line across our paper. Go ahead and try a straight line now. The next type of line is going to be a wavy line. Watch me draw my wavy line. Now your turn to try a wavy line on your paper. Now let's try a zigzag line. Up, down, up, down, up, down. You want your parts to be straight with points on each end for your zigzag line. Go ahead and try one now. Next is a cloud line. Boing, boing, boing. Think of rainbows or making a lowercase m. Go ahead and try a cloud line now. Next, we're going to try a dotted line. Dash, dash, dash. Or you can use little dots instead across your paper. Go ahead and give a dotted line a try. The next one can be tricky. It's a castle line. Over, up, over, down. Over, up, over, down. Over, up, over, down. Go ahead and give it a try. It's a castle line, like at the top of a castle's towers. Our last line is a fun one. It's a curly line. Up and around, just like a roller coaster, or a cursive E. Go ahead and try your curly line now. Now you will need your other piece of paper and a pencil to get started on our project. Start by writing a word across your paper. I wrote the word art, but you may want to use another word, or you could even write your name across the middle of your paper. Now choose your favorite color marker to go over the letters. You want to make the lines of the letter thicker to make it look like block letters or bubble letters. Just go over each line a few times with your marker to make each line nice and thick. Next, choose a type of line to go around your word in. I chose a wavy line, and I went around my letters with this wavy line. Go ahead and try it now. Next, you're going to draw a big X across your paper. You want to start in each corner and go towards your words, but don't go through the words. You may want to do this in pencil first, so you can erase any mistakes that you made. When you made this X, you now have 4 sections. You're going to start with the top section and fill it with your favorite type of line. I chose a green marker and a zigzag line, and I filled in the whole top section with zigzag green lines. You can use any type of line and any color to fill in your top section with lines now. Now you are going to switch to a different color and a different section. This time I chose a purple marker and straight diagonal lines. I filled in the next section with a bunch of straight lines with my purple marker. Go ahead and choose your next color and your next type of line and fill in that section. Let's go on to the next section. This time I chose a black marker and cloud lines, and I went across the whole left section, filling it in with cloud lines. Then I went back in and I added a dotted line in between each of my cloud lines. You can add in 2 kinds of lines or a special design of your liking. And now for our last section. I decided to do a circular spiral line in this section. Maybe you want to use curly lines, or fill it in with scribbly lines, or even filling it in with different shapes or patterns. Go ahead and fill in your last section with whatever kind of lines or shapes you'd like now. And finally, you are going to trace around each of your letters with a dark marker to make it stand out. Notice how I'm going around the outside of each of my letters to make them look like block letters and make them stand out. And then I filled in a little bit of blue in any of the areas that I missed. Go ahead and trace around each of your letters with a dark marker of your choice. Now you have one section left, your middle section. Maybe you want to leave this section plain. I decided to fill it in with some scribbly, curly lines around my words. You can fill this in with dots, shapes, or any kind of line that you'd like. And now we're ready to add in some color. Go ahead and switch to crayon for this section. And you're going to decide what color crayon would look good with the marker of each section. Purple and yellow are complementary colors, so I thought that they would look good together. And I colored in this section in a pattern. Colored in one stripe, left one stripe white. Colored in one stripe, left one stripe white. For the next section, I decided to shade it in lightly with purple. I went over the entire section very lightly with my purple crayon. I thought that blue and purple would look really nice together, and it added a pop of color. Go ahead and choose what color you'd like to put in your next section and color it in with that crayon. For my top section, I decided to shade in the whole thing with a yellow-green crayon. I went lightly over the top so that I didn't cover up my lines, and I lightly shaded it in with yellow-green, which I thought would look good with the green zigzag lines. Go ahead and add in some crayon shading into each of your sections next. For my next section, I decided to add orange over the black lines. I did one section dark orange and the next section light orange. Dark orange, light orange. Dark orange, light orange was the pattern that I was going for in this section. Maybe you want to use a pattern when coloring in your next section. Finally, I chose a blue to shade in my middle section. Go ahead and think about what color would look good for shading in your middle section and add in your crayon color now. This part does take a bit of patience, so take your time. Move your paper into different angles if needed to make sure that each part is colored in. All of your careful work and patience will pay off when you see how your line Zentangle looks at the end. Here's how my Zentangle project turned out. I hope you had fun, and I can't wait to see yours.